So this is the potting house, and it got its name because originally this is where the potting bench was, and most of the potting was done. And I can remember as a young boy always coming through the door here and hearing them tapping and moving flats, and people standing at benches potting up the young cuttings. What we use this for now is a display in a retail area for our customers. This is a very bright house. It's very warm, meaning we keep it probably about 63 to 65 minimum temperature. And it has quite a bit of light on it, so it's a good place to grow highlight needing or flowering tropicals that need a lot of light. One of the plants that you can see that's kind of hanging out in the front here is our Plumbago indica, and this is the winter plumbago. Presently we're in December, so we're right at the bottom, the shortest days. Plants that flower on short day length are in bloom right now. It is probably for those of us that live at Logee's, it's the lowest time of year in terms of flowers and plant vigor and so on. If you walked in here, you wouldn't notice it, but for those of us that live here, this is like the bottom. And we're going to wait another 4 weeks and we'll come out of it and things will start to become more active. Here's another plant that works very well as a winter bloomer. This is Thunbergia grandiflora. You can see I think it's called a clock vine, common name is the clock vine. It flowers very heavily throughout the wintertime. You see these buds, these sprays of buds, and this plant will actually be in bloom now probably up until June. So it's just beginning its flowering cycle. The only trick to it is it's a vine, so you have to constantly contain it. You see we wind it around. There's a lead right there that's running out into space. We're going to pull that back and wrap that around it so we can contain it. This is the Bougainvillea pink pixie, which is really kind of in a semi-dormant state right now because of the low light level, although bougainvilleas do like to flower on shortening day length, so they're responding to the daylight shortening that happened during the fall, so we still have some blooms on it. This is our begonia whitey eye, maculata variety whitey eye, and you can see the flowers on it even in the wintertime. The plant is actually gets a little deeper color if we didn't have so much sunlight on it, but it's quite a bit of light here. And again, here's our Plumbago indica. What a show that puts on. And what happens is these flowers that come out off of that, they just keep coming. And this will bloom, we'll bloom this right up until probably May. This will be in flower. You can see that, well, this is an older plant. Smaller plants you could contain more, but an old plant like this can be quite a large specimen. And very quickly, a plant like this was cut back very hard in July, maybe going into August. We probably did a hard pruning on it just to contain it, and you can see the growth that's come out from that. This Medinilla myrantha, that's pretty much, of all the Medinillas, this is probably the freest blooming one. There's a couple others, but of the showiest ones, this is Medinilla myrantha, and you can see in December the plant is still in bloom here for us. And will continue to flower. I mean, we've got young buds coming out in there. It makes it puts on a pretty good show. The flowers are just these little pink things, and then these bracts kind of hold on, and then in time they actually go into fruit. And so there's, it's many months that the inflorescence coming out of this puts on quite a good show. There's the path, which is this is yesterday's bloom of hibiscus the path, which is one of our oldest showy hibiscus cultivars, and you can see the plant up here. It's got plenty of buds coming on it. There'll be more buds probably opening. There's one up there probably opening today or tomorrow. And so even in the dead of winter, we still got a pretty good show from that. We have passion flower vines that we've trained on the wall. These are really not so much in bloom right now. The daylight is a little short. There are some winter blooming varieties, and we'll show you some of those later in one of the other houses. But this is just a place where we keep a reservoir of stock. And by the way, everything in Logee's, all of our mother plants, display plants, we use these as propagation material for our young cuttings. And this is often used as an outside plant, bedding plant for summertime, but Thunbergias, and this is Sun Lady. which is one of our better flowering clones of Thunberger. It's an Elata hybrid, I believe, but it's one of the better clones of that. And you can see even in the wintertime it's still in bloom. And we have the Renoidia indica here. This is the Golden Flax, I think is the name of it. Just a winter bloomer. It's just going out of flower right now. It may come into another burst of blooms before the end of the season. But in the dead of the winter, you can have some brilliant yellow flowers from this wonderful little pot plant. And that's the potting house.